Akala ko kasi, nag-retire na sa pagiging komedyante si Tito Soto. Hindi ba pala? Nagpapatawa pa siya hanggang ngayon. Sabi niya, may nakausap daw siya at itong taong to ay nagpayo sa kanya na pwedeng hindi pansinin ng Senado yung desisyon ng Korte Suprema.
Ay.
Oh my God!
Oh my goodness.
Joke ba ito, Senator Tito Soto?
Officials and people of the Philippines, lend me your heart and soul for action. The judicial mandated by the elected officials, exercising a law that their ruling neither it deemed to be unconstitutional could not be overturned, not unless if the Supreme Court itself considered the appeal of the petitioner to be right. So can the Senate and House of Representatives as a lawmakers as being mandated by the sovereignty of the people could also make a law that their plenary decision could not be overturned also by any institutions. I don't think so that it cannot be, so do it that there will be no more constitutional crisis that will occur connected into this matter, as the Supreme Court cannot intervene at all, just like the Senate can summon such member or members of the Supreme Court who committed violation of the law. So is therefore in the same way the Supreme Court could do the same, as the decision of this two institution cannot be overturned not unless if they considered the appeal of the motion for reconsideration to be right. And if in other cases, like the Senate and the Supreme Court, there arise a conflict of interest or constitutional or governmental crisis between these two, then it is the one with sovereignty that will decide. If to whom he will side. But if the President 2 times siding to the one who was wrong, then should the enough percentage vote of the religious leaders, the House of Representatives, the mayors, the generals, be applied, or since violation of the Constitution is always human rights violation, so since the human's right is international law, then this could also be brought to ICC. And if the ICC sided the wrong, then surely the God curse the Philippines, for Satan was the evil one, then that just means a curse of God. So the bottom line, in true and rightful government it is not of who is the greatest power will be followed in all cases, to which being wrongfully believed that it is the supreme who is the greatest power, but the fact it is the one who is the supreme sovereignty, which is the President next the peoples of the nation. It is in all cases the truth is to be followed, as the law said, the truth must prevail. So with this, the decision of the Supreme Court cannot be overturned was being well guided. For how can the truth prevail if the wrong ruling be followed? As the law said, no one can overturn a ruling of the Supreme Court, but it might be overturned by itself as through motion for reconciliation or by appealing, or by public opinion, so as people must rally and express their opinions as be imparted to the Supreme Court. As simple as it. Let the Supreme Court be reminded that they have no right anymore to intercede, since for 2 times in the beginning they already commit mistakes, so any action related to these would still lead to another mistake. As their mistakes are, why they did not directed the Senate in the beginning that it is unconstitutional to reject the impeachment complaint legally filed to the Senate by the plenary decision one of the Philippines lawmakers institutions, the House of Representatives. Ask the Supreme Court, is it constitutional for the Supreme Court to allow the Senate to devise the Article 11 Section 3 Paragraph 4, and the other one, is it constitutional to the Supreme Court to allow the Senate to devise the Constitution of rejecting the case being filed to them about to plot to kill the President, which is punishable by the law? And another one, is it constitutional for the Supreme Court to obstruct the House of Representatives and Senate to exercise their mandate, or is it constitutional for the Supreme Court to obstruct the law or Constitution? So if the Supreme Court doesn't realize these anymore, they just shown that they are no longer in a right conscience or conduct. So if the law or the government is after the truth, is it rightful to follow who are not in truth? Then who indeed made the constitutional or governmental crisis? So do you think Supreme Court members are above the law, that they must not be punished or be corrected?